English.
Oh, we're back. I got Marty G,
M-A-R-T-Y.
Juan, Freak, and Dak. Today's topic, we speaking on our favorite 5 comedians of all time. Dak, you wanna open up?
No, I don't want to open
Oh, you
up.
wanna open up?
Ask me, no.
Okay, G, you wanna open up?
All right, at first, I was going to do something crazy. Because it's hard to say 5. I had 4 off the top.
Right.
And my 5th one was going to be something crazy. I was going to put Keenan Ivory Wayans, who ain't a comedian, but he put a lot of comedians on. Just because it was so hard to do 5.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it, and the person that I'm going to put 5th actually was going to be 4th, but I'm going to put him 5th. 5th is going to be Kevin Hart. All right? Kevin Hart, he a funny dude, but I respect his grind.
Right.
Kevin Hart, he gets it on. He does a lot of stand-ups and whatnot, and he a funny dude. So I give Kevin Hart number 5. He was gonna be my 4. Number 4, who wasn't gonna be on the list, but I couldn't leave him off. Dave Chappelle.
Wow. Yeah,
All right.
that's funny as hell.
Dave Chappelle, real funny, and then the Chappelle Show.
It's classic.
And the reason why I was gonna leave him off is because of my number 3 is Martin Lawrence. And Martin Lawrence is hilarious, and the Martin Show is the funniest show on TV from the 90s till now.
Right.
It's point blank. So,
I agree.
same reason I was going to put Dave Chappelle, because of the Chappelle Show and because of his stand-ups and whatnot. I was going to leave him off. So anyway, Martin is number 3. Number 2, I'm old school, Richard Pryor. Like I said, with the rap thing, with Rakim is everybody granddaddy.
Right.
Richard Pryor, everybody granddaddy out here,
No
man.
doubt.
No doubt.
Yeah. It's probably funny too, though.
And then number 1, Eddie Murphy. Dog. His first stand-up that he did, Delirious, I have never watched anything like this. I mean, if you watch it now, you might not think it's real funny or whatever because times and changing stuff. But when I first saw that in 80-something or whatever, from the first joke that he told when he came on stage, he said, and I ain't trying to be, he said, I don't want no faggots watching my ass, whatever. When he first came out and said that, till the last thing he said, I laughed non-stop. My stomach was hurting when it was done, seriously. Like really, really hurting bad. I laughed at everything he said for a whole hour and a half or however long he was on stage. So that right there, and plus his grind was tight too because he did a lot of things.
Yeah, no doubt.
So right there, that's my 5.
One love. What you got going on? Who you got?
My list, number 5, I gotta go with Bernie. Bernie came in and shook shit up. Bernie he ain't give a damn. He took it to a whole nother level. Expressed itself at a time when the freedom of speech was kind of getting questioned. They were attacking comedians, and Bernie, he really didn't care. He put it out there. He attacked a lot of social issues and a lot of issues within our community, and super funny with it. Number 4, I would have to say Fred Sanford. Fred would have been higher on my list, but it's just, Fred Sanford is, self-explanatory. Him and Esther had some of the best duet back-to-back jokes and his stand-ups.
Red Fox. Wait.
Phil, I come from an era where we still listen to tapes. Like we had tapes, so we had tapes. I listened to Fred on tapes, and just hearing him on tapes and imagining all the stuff he was saying, it was funny just hearing him. And definitely Fred, number 4. Number 3, I got to go with definitely Martin. Martin for the same reasons. Marty G Express. I don't got to really elaborate on that.
That's the funniest thing on TV, man.
Number 2, Eddie. He definitely number 2 to me because, Eddie direct all his own shit. Nobody do better characters than Eddie. Movies is good. Richard is number 1 to me.
Okay.
It's just nobody in the world funnier than Richard to me as far as raw talent. Like Richard was honest. Like, he probably was the most honest person I know from everything about his life. So he took his own. That's the first person I can recall taking his own life troubles and using it to make people laugh. So
Yeah.
it's hard to do that. So
Real quick to piggyback on Rich too, that I didn't say. He was the first one out here doing all that cursing and stuff.
right,
You know, a lot of people wasn't doing that. That's why I say he everybody granddaddy. Everybody who out here talking all crazy and reckless,
Right.
that's Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my top 5.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What you got?
Let me give a shout out to my honorable mention to Pops of House Party, Robert
doubt.
Harris.
No doubt. No doubt.
Man, yeah.
No doubt.
This is kind of hard. I'll tell Duru like it's just hard for me to do
It's
this.
hard for me to do.
So, honorable mention Pops.
Definitely.
But my 5th, Bernie Mac, raw talent, hilarious. You know, for the same reason, these two guys said the same thing. My 4, Red Fox. You know, the show, raw talent, how you laughing all day. 3, Martin. Wish I could put him higher, but you know. 2, it's the hardest right there, but I'm giving it Richard Pryor 2. I'm gonna give him 2. And the only reason I didn't put him 1 because everything that Eddie Murphy did, like it's saying well how we put like a rap, why people say Jay-Z the best. My man got from movies to comedians, putting people on. Eddie Murphy did it, so I gotta respect and give him number 1 overall. But it wasn't easy saying that, but Eddie Murphy number 1.
You ready, Dak?
Make-
Yeah.
I think I'm number 5 funniest. So
Flat out.
you know what I'm saying? Because I done made a whole bunch of people cry. A few people wanted to fight. Nah, I'm just no, but for real, like I can't really put it in no type of order. I just would say that being number 1 of all time would have to be in between Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor. But I would go with it being Richard Pryor because Eddie Murphy
Watch them.
so much based what his comedy was off of him. He just was a better brander. It came at a time and made a brand of it. You know what I'm saying? So
No doubt.
he was more visionary and took it further than Richard Pryor did.
It's hard.
So that's what make it so hard. But for real, the 5 is basically the same that everybody else got. It's Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac, you know what I'm saying, Martin, Red Fox. You know what I'm saying? You gotta mention
Pops.
Robert Harris.
Ooh, boy, you gotta mention.
Hell yeah.
There's other honorable mentions too.
It's a lot of
It's a whole
honorable
lot of
Comedy.
Pops right there.
Chris Rock,
Yeah. Chris
You know
Rock
what I'm
definitely
saying?
did his thing.
even Bill Cosby. People sleep on
Right.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah,
Clean.
I might
Funny
put
dude,
Bill in my
And
top 5.
that was some
Bill, I
good
heard Bill
clean
take it. He
humor.
was definitely dope.
Himself,
That was some good clean humor.
Him and Sidney Poitier definitely had some good
Uptown
stuff.
Saturday
Oh,
Night,
yeah.
all that.
Man, I'm putting Bill in. When I come back, I'm putting Bill in mine. Free Bill.
Put him-
Like I say, free Bill.
No doubt.
Bill my 5.
Free the Bill.
Free Bill. Jello Pudding is my 5. Then I got I had to put mine in order because I love some Red Fox. I love Red
man.
Fox. Red Fox, his jokes, you gotta think about his jokes. When you watch it stand up, you gotta he say something make you
Quick.
think about it. Funniest thing I ever heard Red Fox say is you gotta wash your ass. Not your whole ass, but your ass whole. Yeah, boy, really, Red Fox is something different, bro. It's hard for me to put, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to put Martin Lawrence over Red Fox, but I'm gonna do it. Because like you said, that Martin show is the funniest show I've ever
Funniest
seen in
thing on
my
TV,
life.
man.
Martin did, like the funniest
And a
movie
lot
I
of
ever
that
watched
should
was
be the
Life.
spin-offs. And that should be the spin-offs because him and Pam ain't nothing but Esther.
Right,
Red,
yeah, that's
you know
what
what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying.
Who was
They-
funnier? Who who was funnier?
I don't know.
Who had the best crack?
Because Ashley used to
Martin,
come back.
man.
Ashley used to come back with some
Martin,
shit.
That's the
though.
comebacks.
Ashley came back
That's the
with
comebacks.
some shit.
Easy to
Shot fool.
I'll put your face in some dough
Martin
and
made
make
me
it
feel
really
bad
good.
for Pam sometimes.
You
man.
gotta go with
Martin made me feel
Fred
bad.
and Esther.
I
They
ain't
didn't
never
hold back.
felt bad for Pam.
Pam and Martin just was cold
They-
and cracking
they
jokes
were.
on
Yeah.
each other. They
Right,
Pam
right.
comebacks was dope, but Esther and Fred was it.
Y'all
Like, they
can't.
was saying
Y'all
some
sleeping
hurtful
on George Jefferson and
and the Florida.
That's
man.
good about him, too.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
used to give her 50.
She definitely was going ham.
She had some comebacks.
She was the first. I give her
But
fun.
shit, George went at it with everybody. He used to
George.
torture Archie. He used to torture Archie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I got 3 Martin Lawrence. It's hard. These last 2, it's just a toss up with Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, man. Because Richard Pryor actually, he was like the first one they gave that deal to. He had to do like 20 some movies. He got to be set a big deal early in life. You know what I'm saying? Then the Richard Pryor show is funny
No
as hell.
doubt, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? The funniest roast I ever seen was Richard Pryor roast. Y'all seen Richard Pryor roast when they was roasting Richard Pryor and he
seen
got up and pissed on everybody.
What about Saturday Night Live?
Eddie Murphy, you know, he king of that. You know what I'm saying?
Richard Pryor, he tell a funny story though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Dracula, Black man.
And I love JoJo Dance.
Oh
Man, that
shit.
nigga looking for that crack rock on the man. And then,
Just little things.
yeah, that guy is hilarious. So, man, it's hard. Because what I think Eddie did, Eddie had
JoJo Dance.
just, he like evolved. It's kind of like Dr. J and Michael Jordan.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Dr. J was, the first person we seen
The
fly.
first show.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, like I said, all these other the rappers
And
compared to
Jordan
Rock
perfected
Him.
it. Right.
Compared to Rock Him. Rod was the first, you know.
Yeah, so but I gotta I gotta go Richard then Eddie.
No
I
doubt.
got to.
Eddie Murphy, man.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy. That make you
Coming
piss
to
on yourself.
America is.
Coming to America. He had that run.
Everything. man.
Coming to
man.
America, that Trading
48
Places.
hours, man.
Oh,
48
shit.
hours.
Trading place,
Yeah,
yeah.
Trading Places funny.
That nigga says it's cool.
I'm gonna get y'all five. I'm gonna get y'all five real quick.
Man.
Check this out. My honorable mention, younger generation, dude, funny as hell, bro. I got 2. It's Corey Holcomb and D. Ray Davis.
Yeah.
Corey
Them
Holcomb.
2 motherfuckers right there.
Retarded, man.
And
You
then,
don't know Corey Holcomb, man?
and then the rest of the 5,
All he do
yeah.
is
And then the rest of the 5 line up with everybody else.
My man Corey Holcomb, I
He gonna be
ain't
giving a
I
fuck.
tell you that nigga.
He don't
hilarious,
give
though.
a
He be on
fuck.
that
Old school advice.
Yeah.
Keep his kids from him.
I don't watch
Fuck
one.
her and them kids.
Dog, that nigga said,
reckless stuff.
dog, that nigga said, you mad? He said, you mad? You the only killer in the car when he was talking about they came back from the abortion clinic. Said, what you mad for? You the only killer here in the car.
She's shaking the milk
Who
carton
was
and say, look at you.
who was
Just like your
dog
mama.
on
You
comedy?
just nasty.
What dog gonna come in here with the big eyes, man? The fat guy.
Oh yeah, Earthquake. Bruce. Earthquake.
Bill Crawford.
Man,
Lavelle
I'm a
Crawford.
big guy.
Lavelle.
Lavelle?
Lavelle funny.
Look at you, man, you laugh.
It's
I
so
see
many
Lavelle
funny dudes.
live. He can't be fucked with live. Like,
He can look at you and
that
he
was the
laugh.
absolute best.
My nigga
stand-up
Don
I've
DC
seen live.
Curry called too. That nigga had me rolling.
Curry, yeah,
Oh,
no
DC,
doubt.
that's
Yeah, Don DC had me
But
rolling.
Lavelle, I seen Lavelle, man, and like when I mean like the dude, like from beginning to end.
Yeah, when he say tsunami, salami, oh
Man, he talking about how his
man.
mama. He ran. See, he told a joke in the beginning of his performance, and then ran it back in reverse.
Yeah,
at the
that's what a
end.
lot of them do. Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this:
That
Who was
shit
the
was
funniest
classic.
person y'all seen on Comic View?
Oh,
D.L. Hughley.
Yeah, DL, you know what DL do? He kill you in the audience.
oh,
You don't want to be in the audience. You don't want to be in the
DL
audience.
killed
with
your
DL.
ass.
oh.
The first 20 minutes.
He done
is
called
the
it
stand-up
ever.
show.
He done
That
called it ever.
last
That
10.
DL will
Who that-
burn
Yeah,
your
the
ass
last 10.
up.
If you
That's
in the
how he got-
audience
that's how he
and
got
you
on. He got
anything
the audience.
wrong, he tortured you.
DL will get you in the
He
audience.
gonna get you.
Yeah.
Earthquake and DL.
I'm not a good person. I don't like him on the all stands.
No.
DL.
But
I
he
couldn't watch the
called in
whole
the crowd.
segment.
But if
has
he
no
Yeah.
gets you,
He'll get you in the audience.
Yeah.
Get
And
your
you know
ass.
what?
He was the
smart, though.
weakest out of the kings of
He
comedy.
definitely was.
DL smart though.
but he was up there because of that very reason. He will get your ass.
He better than Cedric the Entertainer. No, Cedric the Entertainer
I
shit
don't
was
like
funny though.
That's tough. That's tough.
I love Sid.
I love Seti when he came out. When he
Yeah,
first came out, but after that,
Man, that King's Comedy.
Eddie Griffin.
yeah. Eddie, oh yeah, he the
Come on,
go.
man.
He definitely wanted to go.
right, yeah, Cedric changed.
Yeah,
the
Eddie
he started
Griffin
talking,
definitely wanted to go.
I tell you, old school white
kept
dude,
the voice
George
in.
Carlin.
Oh
You ever
my
heard of
God,
that?
George!
George Carlin, man.
Rawest person ever when it came to
But see
really
that-
speaking about issues.
A lot
and
of
shit like
that stuff. That's why I don't really agree with like so many people jumping on Kevin Hart. Like he too
Yeah.
extra for me.
I don't like.
He
Kevin
cool.
Hart.
Like I said, though, I respect his
He
grind.
tried too hard.
I
His
don't like
grind
that.
terrible.
He
I mean,
grind
his
hard,
heavy.
and his stuff be
Like
funny, though.
you here to make me laugh.
I respect
I'm not
his
supposed to
grind.
be
He's a
laughing at your jokes.
hard-working
I hope I
brother.
laugh
I
with
love
you.
that. But he the funniest person in this era.
Who was the funniest white
Blaze-
dude on
he'll
TV
blaze
right
your ass in a
now?
minute.
On
Okay.
Just
Ooh, I don't even
in the
watch TV
movies.
like that.
In the
Right
movies,
now?
yeah.
No.
Will Ferrell, dog.
Okay.
Will Ferrell.
But what's
Will
my man
Ferrell
name?
to go.
Will Ferrell.
Effortless.
Yeah.
Effortless funny. Will Ferrell.
He been married to a black chick. He was on Comic View.
I know you're talking about.
You talking about, I know you're talking about.
He was on
Can't think of dude.
yeah,
name.
what was he the white dude.
I know you're talking
My
about.
He had a
dude
TV
was
show,
Chris
he had a
Farley,
reality
though,
show.
man.
Chris Farley.
Yeah, he had a reality show. Right.
Chris Farley was
That
dope
my
as
joke,
fuck.
Chris Farley. man.
I take you back, John
I was
Belushi.
about to say,
John Belushi.
John Candy, nigga, y'all sleeping on John Candy on All Nothing But Trouble with Tupac was in the movie.
Robin Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, not Robin Harris, Robin Williams.
Robin
Williams.
Williams, that's my dude. I love Robin Williams.
My man that play on,
Mork and Mindy, I've been rocking with him for
I
years.
ain't agree with what they said. Yeah, Robin Williams ranked over Martin and all them, man.
No.
Robin was
Williams.
funny,
Martin.
bro.
Politics.
Wait a minute.
Hey, are we
He was
in agreement
brilliant.
that Martin is the funniest show ever?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like.
Who was the nigga
Yeah.
way down in the
Okay.
jungle deep? Who was that? That's
Dolomite.
Dolomite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dolomite.
What you think that? What's the funny show? You
I believe it's
Brady.
what you say, Lon? You said you know them on this.
Martin and the Wayans brothers.
Martin birthed a lot of man. Jamie Foxx
I
and
don't
all
think
that.
nothing funnier than Sanford
Sanford
and
Son.
Son.
Sanford Son.
Martin.
I always
I love
said
Martin, but ain't nothing
What's
funnier
one
than
of
Sanford
the
and Son.
funniest Sanford Son?
I want my daddy
I want
records.
my daddy records back. Bubba.
I want my daddy records.
Fred had too many. Fred had too many
That
people
cast.
guest
No
stars.
doubt.
That
no
cast.
He
doubt.
had too many.
Lena Horne, nigga, when Lena was on there.
Celery.
Hey, Martin had a
I
lot
be
of people
saying
too.
this
though.
Right,
all
but
the
he-
time.
yeah,
The
Biggie,
funniest
Snoop.
Martin is when he had them niggas dress up in all black.
Fresh Prince.
Yeah, New Jack City. That one and Tommy Hearns.
Cause you gotta watch, man, when he
Yeah.
come in
With the dog. With the
Yeah,
fake
with
dog.
the
He
fake
did
He said sit. Slay.
And then he look, he put it down and he be like, sit. And the motherfucker tip over, he be like, lay.
Yeah.
But when Bruh Man come in the window,
Hey, Bruh
he
Man,
run
my
and
nigga.
jump over it.
Bruh Man,
But
my
he
nigga.
barked like the dog really was barking. I was like, man, this nigga crazy.
I got an honorable
And you
mention.
can tell the edit was terrible because you can look at them niggas' face and they like, man, this nigga crazy.
What's my man? He used to play on A Living Color. And he did on Martin. He was the Reverend Lonnie Love.
Oh, that's
Oh, you
that
talking
Allen
about
Harris.
David Alexander.
Oh, he funny
Hey,
as fuck too.
He ain't never been like a star of
Man, he a star
but
to
he
me.
always
Yeah,
just
funny.
an extra.
He had Boomerang. He had me tripping on Boomerang. when he was-
Oh, that's the silliest
He
nigga
was
ever.
Reverend Lonnie Love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all, there's this show called the Carmichael Show. He was
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
Silliest
Daddy
nigga
on there.
ever.
This dude is
Yeah.
stupid, man.
Daddy on there.
Silliest
That
nigga
shit
ever.
funny.
Damned at mine eyes.
Satan.
But see, that's Living Color was a good show too. You know,
Satan.
Yeah, Living
Release
Color,
me.
Living Color was
It's a great
dope.
show, yeah.
Living Color was
That's
dope.
why I was gonna put Keenan
Keenan
Ivory.
is in
I
there.
couldn't think of a number 5.
Robert Thompson.
So I was like,
Robert Thompson was funny. Yeah, Media
Shit,
Man
Hollywood
had me
Shuffle.
weak.
I was shoving
man.
He was a great
who
writer
was
though.
the
His pen
funniest one out
fire.
of Living Color, real quick? We got 10
Damon
seconds.
Wayans. Jim
Damon
Carrey.
Wayans.
Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans,
I don't know.
Anton.
Jamie Foxx was
Still
funny
like
too,
Jamie.
though,
They
man.
couldn't fuck with
Damon
Damon.
Wayans.
They couldn't fuck with
We
Damon.
gotta go.
Jamie Kissing.
Oh
Who
man.
was funnier out of The Living Color and Saturday Night Live?
Living Color.
Y'all don't know about